You're listening to Glove Up or Shut Up on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
It's going to be an interesting mix because Cain Velasquez is well-liked among his target demographic, but we've heard this before. Dr. Lucius, Steve Sims, has talked about it. There is kind of a funny vibe when you're Mexican, but you're not from Mexico. Sometimes they like you and sometimes they don't. And generally speaking, Cain Velasquez will get a good reaction. But at the same time, Fabricio Werdum made himself very popular in Mexico off of their season of The Ultimate Fighter and speaks very fluent Spanish for a guy who didn't grow up in a Spanish-speaking country. He grew up speaking Portuguese, but he learned the language, he speaks it well, and Werdum is fairly popular there, especially after winning the title in a fight with Mark Hunt. It's the interim title, but he's not, I wouldn't say that it's going to be like a huge pop for Velasquez and a big boo for Werdum. I think the reactions to them are actually going to be pretty close.
Mexico is hungry for mixed martial arts, and it's going to be a great crowd. And
Arena Ciudad generally draws big crowds for big events.
Yeah.
They can pack people in there. They can easily get 20,000 people in there.
I would be surprised if it didn't hear any soccer chants. I'm sure we'll hear a few.
I'm not going to be shocked by that either. And I'm also not shocked by the line for this fight because Cain Velasquez is the minus 485 favorite. Werdum is plus 385.
Okay, that's a little high in my opinion. I would have Cain, if you had to have him as the favorite, maybe minus 200. I'm being generous with that.
I hate to disagree with you, but this is what I've been saying all along, and the line reflects what I've said over and over again on this show. Werdum is a great fighter. Werdum in a division without Velasquez could be the champion forever. But Cain Velasquez is Cain Velasquez, and he's going to beat every heavyweight on earth.
How fast is Werdum as a striker? Is he a fast fighter, or does he look back and let his opponent make the first move?
He's generally a let the opponent make the first move kind of guy. That's the way he submitted Fedor was. He let Fedor make the first move and let him get in guard and then caught him once he started trying to strike with him.
See, with Cain, I'd be worried about ring rust, so to speak, where that first round, maybe the first half of the second round, he's getting his bearings. Okay, we're back, we're fighting, this is not training anymore, we're good to go. And Werdum needs to take advantage of that if he's going to win this fight.
The thing I see happening in this fight is that Werdum won't go in overconfident, but he'll go in confident. He'll think to himself, if Velasquez goes for the immediate takedown and I put him in guard, I can do what I did to Fedor. I can do this to anybody. And the problem with that is, again, Cain Velasquez is Cain Velasquez. He gets you on the ground. You're not going to throw your legs up around him and get a triangle. You're not going to grab an arm and go for an arm bar. You're going to get pounded in the face mercilessly because we have seen Cain destroy people on the ground. Cain does not make those kind of mistakes where he gives up submissions on the ground. He doesn't do it.
So who do you have in the fight then?
I think it's pretty obvious I have Velasquez in the fight.
I've got Werdum winning.
Well, you might as well go out on a limb because that's the name of the game. You know, you make a bold prediction, you come up big, you look like a superstar. So if you see it, go for it.
All right, what's the main event?
Co-main event is, now you talk about the complete polar reactions to being Mexican and being not Mexican. Well, in this case, they're both Mexican-American as opposed to Mexican. So they'll either both be equally loved or they'll both be equally hated. But you got Eddie Alvarez and Gilbert Melendez in the co-main event.
I'm going to go with Melendez on this one.
He is the minus 175 favorite. It's close, but I agree with you. I think Melendez is on a level that, sadly, Eddie Alvarez has never reached anywhere except for Bellator, and UFC is a much bigger pond for him to swim in, and Melendez is a much bigger shark. But the line is pretty close right now, so I guess it's the old puncher's chance, and if there's one thing we know about Eddie Alvarez, it's that he does pack a punch. He is a hard hitter at lightweight. speaking of hard hitters, Nate Marquardt, he is a one-punch knockout fighter if he lands it, but the odds makers don't think he's going to get that chance because they've got Kelvin Gastelum as the minus 440 favorite. Marquardt's plus 350. And Gastelum, if he sees that kick coming, he's going to scoop up that leg, dump him on his back, and just work him.
Yeah, but Nate also, it's like a tree falling. Guy was kicking his legs the entire fight that one time, remember?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, check the kick.
Yeah, it just doesn't happen.
His legs were hamburger by the end of that fight.
They were indeed. Okay.
But no, I got Kelvin on that one for sure.
Yeah, Kelvin is the heavy favorite with good reason. He's got a lot of momentum. I think it'll go well for him. But, I don't know too much about these two featherweights. Yair Rodriguez and Charles Rosa.
I've heard the name Charles Rosa before, but just briefly. Not saying the same to the corner, unfortunately.
All I can tell you about Yair Rodriguez is he won the Ultimate Fighter Latin America. He is the champion of that season. And when they did their last show in Mexico City, he got the win there too. He beat Leonardo Morales. So he's 4-1 overall. And you said you've heard of Charles Rosa? Mm-hmm. Well, you probably remember him from beating Sean Soriano at the UFC Fight Night headlined by Conor McGregor and Dennis Siver.
Yes, there you go. Okay, that's all I know.
So, got two good fighters here, a 4-1 fighter and a 10-1 fighter, but according to the odds makers, Rosa is the favorite here, minus 230.
Alright, who's next?
We've got a strawweight fight, Tisha Torres and Angela Hill.
I'm gonna go with Torres.
Yeah, the tiny terror Tisha Torres. I would have even if I didn't know who her opponent was. And being that it's Angela Hill, no disrespect to the girl, but yeah, the odds makers are right about this one. They have Torres as the minus 310 favorite.
It's like Ronda Rousey versus Rousey.
Yeah, it's Ronda Rousey versus anybody pretty much, yeah. But Tisha Torres, I would give her the favorites in any fight in the strawweight division, except maybe Joanna Jędrzejczyk. That would be the only one I wouldn't favor her in.
Be a good fight, then.
Or Marina Moroz. I wouldn't favor her in that fight either. So, there's some interesting fights, and then there's some whatever fights on these prelims, but I think there's one, maybe two worth focusing on before we wrap up today, Peter. I'm gonna say the two ones that I'd talk about out of this prelim card are Chico Camus versus Henry Cejudo and Efrain Escudero versus Drew Dober. Which one do you want to start with?
Go with the latter on that one.
Alright, well you've got Escudero. Speaking of guys who are winners of the Ultimate Fighter, we all know he won season 8 of that show, eventually got released by UFC, worked his way back to the promotion. He's 50-50 in his two fights since coming back. He lost to Leonardo Santos, but he beat Rodrigo de Lima, so I don't know. Escudero's kind of a funny guy to really get behind because he seems to trade wins and losses all of the time. Whereas Drew Dober, he goes on streaks. Like, he'll win 5, he'll lose 2. His last 2 fights, he got a win over Jamie Varner, and then it was a no contest with Leonardo Silva that Silva originally won, but the commission ruled that the stoppage was a mistake and overturned the result of the fight.
That's a rarity.
Yes, indeed. You very rarely see that happening, but I guess the Brazilian Athletic Commission thought that the referee screwed up, so for once, they actually acknowledged that. Now, you're gonna say, why didn't they do that for Francisco Rivera and Uriah Faber? Well, different country, different commission, different outcome. As far as the betting call, it's very close to a coin flip. Minus 155 for Dober, plus 135 for Escudero.
I'll say Dover, but I hate to say this, by decision.
Yeah, that seems like the right call here. And as for Cejudo and Camus, this is the most lopsided line of the entire card. Cejudo is the minus 1,000 favorite.
Whoa, wait a minute. 1,000? Really?
Yeah, if you got $50, you might just want to throw it on Chico Camus because he's plus 650 on the comeback. And he did win his last fight. It was a split decision, but he did beat Brad Pickett. So you can't say that Chico Camus isn't capable of winning a big fight.